Hello all, how are you? It's good to see everybody again. I hope everyone is alright, is feeling good wherever you are. Okay, so we are now in week 3, everyone. And as you can see, the topic for week 3 for English 3 for Diploma 3, KU32101 is about computer application. Okay, so the application of computer for many areas. So, still with me, Miss Mona Lisa Pasaribu. I'm going to bring you the video about this topic. So, let us check the video for this week. Alright, so as you can see over here, we have a quick review for the outline for this video. We're going to have a quick review and then we discuss about the objective of the lesson, and then we'll go to discuss about the topic, which is about computer application. So you'll be looking at the grammar, a diagram of a picture, and then after that we'll talk about the passive voice in present tense. Of course, after that we'll do some practice. So let's have a quick review from last week's material. So my very quick question about the last week's material is, since we are now in this third week of the third semester, then my question will be, how have you progressed over the last 2 weeks? Yeah, so we have talked about, if you look back again in week 1 and week 2. Week 1 we were talking about computer users, and we talked about the grammar about functions of items, and then we also talk about week 2 we talk about computer architecture and the grammar of present perfect tense and past tense. And for these two topics and with these two grammar focus, I reckon you have progressed. So I hope you have progressed well for this for these 2 weeks. And again, if you have questions, you can ask me during the practicum session, or you can pop up the question in our WhatsApp group. Okay, so this is just a quick question to review from week 1 until week 2. Now we will discuss about the objective for this week. So we will talk about the application of computer in some areas. So there are some texts related to the application of computer in some areas, and then we'll talk about the pattern of present tense in passive voice, and then of course we'll do some practice afterwards. Now, as a starter for this week's topic, I want you to list as many uses as you can for computer. So use of computer in one of these areas. So you can choose either in supermarket, in hospital, in the airport, or in the police headquarters. Okay, so pick up one of the places, one of these areas, and then after that list how many what are the functions of the computer in one of those areas, whether it's in supermarket, in the hospital, in the airport, or in the police headquarters. Okay, so please list this and make sure that you are able to share your answer later in our practicum session. Okay, so now a quick question, everyone. So after you list down the use of computer application in some of the areas, I have one quick question over here. Do you find any other area that you think are uncommon to use computer? Probably not the hospital, because hospital, I think computers are very useful in the hospital. But is there any other area that you think are uncommon to use computer, but they use it anyway? So I want you to answer this question, and later we can discuss it in our practicum session. Okay, so now we'll move on to the reading, which is about computer application. So as you can see over here, there's a picture about how a data is being transferred from the speeding, what do you call this one? A digital camera speeding, and then it says the data of the speed, the time, and the number plate are recorded, and then the speed are also recorded, and then the measure distance are also recorded, and then all of the details is sent to the police headquarters computer. Okay, and then after that they will process this. So these texts are actually explained in the next slide. Yes, so this is about computer application in a police headquarters. So for this text, as I've mentioned to you, please do recording of your own reading for this text, and then we will play, I will pick up some students to play their recordings afterwards. Alright, so just a quick comprehension question about this computer application in the police headquarters. So based on what you have read for the text, the previous text about this one, police application in police headquarters, computer application in police headquarters, how does the system work there? Okay, so you may want to say, so first it's done like this, and then second it's done like that, and then after that, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm looking forward for your answer for this question. How does the system of computer application work in the police headquarters? Okay, according to the reading that we just read. Now we come to the grammar discussion, which is about present tense in the passive voice. So a very quick question I'm giving to you is that can we change all active sentences into passive voice? Okay, so for this question, I would like you to post your answer in the YouTube comment. Okay, so can we change all active sentences into passive voice? Yeah, all right. So pause this recording, and then after that, give me your answer in the YouTube comment. Okay. Okay, so there are 4 sentences over here. I finished my English assignments. She goes to school. We work seriously in the laboratory, and police officers want to catch the thief. I want you to have a look at this sentence first, and then we'll come back to this later. Because we are going to explain, I'm going to explain a little bit about the passive voice. Okay, so in sentence number 1, if you can see, the radar sends out a beam of radio waves, and then the information is stored on a smart card. So in sentence 1, the verb is active, and then number 1 it is active, and number 2 it is passive. So why is it so? So what difference does it make? So in sentence 1, we want to show who is doing it. So here it says the agent responsible is included. Okay, but if for number 2 it's not included, well, sometimes it is included at the end, or maybe we can also say that it is not the main thing that we want to say first. Okay, so we kind of just want to say that the information is stored and that's it. So we don't want to see who did that, or maybe that is not as important as to say the information is stored. Okay, so that's the difference between passive voice and active voice. And then you can also say that the passive voice is often used to describe the steps in a process where the action is more important than the agent. This one, yeah. So the action itself, you kind of want to stress that the action is more important than the agent. In that case, when we listen to the sentence, the information is stored. So you want to say that the information is stored. You don't want to. You want to know less about who did the storing. Okay, so who stored the information. You just want to say that the information is stored. Okay, so but if you want to say if you want to say the agent or the doer or the subject who is doing that, then you can say it at the end. Okay, so the information is stored on a smart card by a processor. Okay, so you can always add it at the end, but again, if you think that it is when your sentence is only focusing on the action rather than the agent or the doer, and you can always dismiss this. So this one is quite, I would say, optional. Okay. So in a conclusion, we can say the passive voice, we can use it for three reasons. The first one is we are more interested in the action than the agent or the person or the thing. And then we are more interested in the receiver than the agent, or the agent is not important, not known, or it is obvious. Okay, so for example, it's obvious for you to know who is eating the cake, for example. So you don't need to say by me, for example. Okay, so that's the reasons for using passive voice. So now we will look at the formula of passive voice in a present tense. Of course, it's a little bit different from the one that we discussed in the last week, which is about present perfect tense and past tense. Okay, so for example, she takes the books. The book is taken by her. We pay the bill. The bills are paid regularly. We pay the bills regularly. The bills are paid regularly. So in a way, when we want to talk about passive in a present tense, you use subject plus is or are plus verb 3 and then plus the object. And you can always say by the object over here. Yeah, so why I mean the object is the doer or the agent, you can put by someone or by something. Alright, so let's go back again to this sentence. So we have 4 sentences over here. So what I want you to do, I want you to identify which of these sentences that you can actually make into passive. Okay, so there are 4 sentences over here. I finished my English assignment. She goes to school. We work seriously in the laboratory. And police officers want to catch the thief. Okay, so for these 4 sentences, which do you think is able to be changed into passive? Okay, so have a look again, and then for this question, I think I want you to post this in our discussion forum in e-course for week 3, and then please tell me the reason why this is unable to be changed into passive voice, or why this sentence is able to be changed into passive voice. Alright, so now we come to the practice. So the first practice that I want to ask you to do is, I want you to go back again to the reading that we had about, which discuss about computer application in police headquarters, and then I want you to identify all the passive voice that are being used in the text. Okay, and then make sure that you list it down, and then you can share it during the practicum session. And then for the second practice, have a look at these sentences over here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. What I want you to do with this practice is I want you to change, because all of these sentences are in the present tense in the active voice. So I want you to change these sentences into passive voice. Okay? Yeah, of course, there will be more discussion in the practicum slide. So if you go to our campus information system in the practicum session, you can see there are more discussions about this grammar, so present tense and passive voice. So please do that, and then we will discuss the answer later during the practicum session. Yes, so that actually will bring me to the end of my video for this theory session for week 3. Next week we will be discussing about application programs, and of course we will talk about the related grammar. And because next week is week 4, then probably we'll be going to discuss a little bit about our assignments for first assignment for this semester. Okay. And here are the references for today's material. So thank you very much for watching this video, everyone, and I hope you do all of the exercises given, and talk to you soon in our practicum session. Goodbye.